Alright, in this video we're going to be testing the Tikka T3X Super Varmint, and you guys are probably very obviously noticing that it is not in the original stock that the gun comes with, and a lot of you are probably going to make fun of me for that, but I honestly was just not really a huge fan of the stock that it came with, which really bums me out because that rifle's like really expensive, and I was just not a huge fan of the stock. So we switched it out for an MDT XRS chassis. I am not sponsored by them. I really just like their stuff, and I don't expect them to sponsor me. I just do think they do a good job. I mean, I've played with a lot of different stocks and chassis, and they just do a good job. So that's why you see them on the channel all the time. I know some of you think that they're like paying me, but they're not. I don't get paid by anybody. I'm literally just a fan of their products. Now, that being said, we are going to move on into the test, but I am going to clarify. I do this in every video, but for those of you that are curious about the equipment and the components, ammo, all that stuff, all of the details on that stuff is going to be put into the description for the video. So if you want to know like what kind of bipod we're using or what kind of ammo it is or exactly what the description is on that stuff, please by all means check out the description. I will have it written below. Now, moving on to the actual test, we are going to be shooting a bunch of different factory ammo, which I just realized you probably can't see on the screen because I didn't tilt the camera down enough, but I need you to be able to see the target. So we're going to be starting with some pretty run-of-the-mill stuff. I'm going to be working up in grain weight from the lowest grain to the highest grain ammo. We're probably going to start on the top left corner of the target and just work our way across and down so it's easier to keep track of. But a lot of you guys want to see like the El Cheapo stuff in these bolt guns. So you know what? We'll try it because I don't expect them to shoot good, but maybe they'll shoot great. Who knows? But they're not meant to be super consistent usually. It's just meant to be cheap. So we're going to be shooting 3-shot groups. And again, we're going to be working from like the 53, 55 grain bullets up to the 77 grain bullets in this rifle. And again, the only thing that's been changed about this gun, I put a MDT brake on it. Again, big fan of their products. The Skypod, Bipod, you know what I'm saying, and their chassis, Athlon scope, Tikka T3X Super Varmint. So it was a factory rifle until I changed everything but the barrel and the action. But we were using MDT magazines. I really got to quit saying MDT. They're not paying me to do this. It'd be nice if they did because I keep bringing up their name. But the performance speaks for itself. So as long as these things feed good, I won't have anything bad to say about them. But this is the first time I put a 223 in a chassis, so the magazines are going to be pretty heavily dependent on how this gun runs as far as feedability, reliability, whatever you want to call it. So we're probably going to run out of light before we do this test, so I got to work through this pretty quick. We're not going to keep track of velocities. I'm just going to try to run through this pretty fast. So we are starting on the top left corner of the target here. We might have shots off paper because I moved the barrel action into a different stock and I have not re-zeroed it. So we're just going to hope these are on and we'll go from there. Starting with some Scorpio 55 grain ammo, going for the top left diamond. Nope, already had a feeding problem. Look at that. That might actually not be the fault of the magazine. Okay, so that went off paper, I think, which is fine because this ammo's dirt cheap. We're going to come down to full mill here. Oh God, it's so cold this thing isn't even working. I think the weather's breaking my scope. Alright, let's try this. Okay, so these are not feeding very good. I hope you guys can hear the coyotes. This happens a lot when we're shooting right at dusk or dawn. Dusk, whatever. Right at the end of the day, usually we get to hear the coyotes. In coyote season, nighttime season rather, I don't know if you can hear them, but starts here in about 1 week. So we will be putting out some thermal footage of us going after some doggies in the nighttime. So stay tuned for that if you guys are interested in nighttime thermal hunting stuff. The next thing we're going to be shooting is a 53 grain VMAX out of the Hornady 53 grain VMAX in their Superformance Varmint line. And I really have good luck with these bullets when I'm hand loading them. Typically I have good luck with factory ammo as well, but I can't really control that. So I'm not just a big proponent of that bullet in particular. I've had good luck with them. we'll see how they do in this gun. All right, I'm just going to shoot for that same target. I'm going to go for the top left diamond again because I can't really tell where our point of impact is. Hopefully this will show me. So this thing isn't feeding worth a crap. It's struggling to pick up rounds. I might have to make some modifications here because the bolt is riding over the top of the rounds here. So this is one thing I was a little concerned about switching it over to the chassis was the magazine reliability, and so far it's not really proven to be all that reliable. So that's a bit of a bummer. Alright, so this is our first load. This is our second load here. So this is kind of sad, but I'm pretty sure that the cold is like, it's so cold right now that I think it's like freezing whatever lubrication they put inside of the turret, because it went from a very tactile click to just squishiness. I mean, like, it feels like you're trying to break through grease. But also realized that I'm pretty sure those point of impacts were way lower than I thought they were. I don't know what happened on the first couple shots. I might have misunderstood where I was actually hitting it first, but they were very, very, very clearly not even remotely close to where I thought they were, because they're hitting like very far down on the target. So we move the point of impact up. We're going to shoot for the top of the center diamond on this next group. I'm hoping that these are actually a lot closer to where they should be, because it looks like that was actually a pretty good group with those 53 grain VMAXs, so it should hit just about right where they're supposed to, because this next load is the Winchester 55 grain Varmint-X ammo. So we're just going to hope that since that bullet weight is so similar, they're going to have a pretty similar point of impact, which we moved up about 1.5 mils. So we're going to go for the top of the center diamond here and hope we can see him this time. Yeah, this thing's feeding like really bad. I'm going to have to change something. So far it looks like the accuracy is actually really good. I'm having a hard time seeing it because it's getting dark, but evidently the group is small enough that I am having a hard time finding it. But so far, really good. Next up, we've got the Nosler 55 grain Varmageddon ammo. And we're going to be shooting for the top right diamond on this group. So this is a little tricky because normally if you have feeding issues with a magazine, in particular with metal mags, you can just modify the feed lips, just bend them until they work. But you can't really do that with these because they actually have like a plastic inner liner, I guess you could say. So I think you can just bend hard plastic. Pretty sure that sucker's just gonna snap off there. So we're gonna go for the top right diamond here with that Nosler 55 grain Varmageddon ammo. Ooh, that don't even feel right. Well, that's concerning. So I can vaguely see the groups, but not well enough to really put too much opinion on them. So I just hope you guys can see them better than I can, because like it's getting dark and it's just getting really hard to see the target. We're gonna go, no, we'll shoot 3. The next group we're gonna shoot is the 55 grain VMAX from Hornady in their Varmint Express line. So these here are a flat base bullet. The other ones are, the 53 grain VMAX is a boat tail. Has a very small boat tail on it. I hope you guys can see the target okay, because it's getting really hard for me to see it. So I apologize if it's too dark for you guys to see it, but I hope you can. So we're gonna go for the left side of the center diamond here. I may have pulled that shot just a touch, just so that you guys know I can't really see where that last shot went, but it looked like it was still a decent group. That first one definitely flew away a little bit, but I'm going to blame that one on me. I think I've got a plan to fix the feeding issue, but I'm not going to be able to do it right now. So the next group that we're going to shoot is a 55 grain Sierra Blitzking. This is their Prairie enemy line, and kind of looks like this, or like that. But these bullets I've also had pretty good luck with, generally, in gas guns for critter hunting and stuff, but I haven't really shot it in a bolt gun yet, so I am kind of curious. But we're going to be going for the dead center of the big middle diamond. Gosh darn it. This thing runs so smooth, it's such a shame that it's not feeding without a little help. So it's hard for me to tell, but that looks like that all went into basically one hole. I can't tell if there's a shot on the right side of that little open white circle, or if they all just, I think there is a separate, yeah, okay, so they didn't all go. Either way, I mean, it still shot good, but they did not go into a ragged hole for sure. It's so hard to see, I'm sorry guys. Next up, we have the Sierra Matchking competition ammunition, actually loaded by Sierra. I'm making that very clear because we're about to shoot some Federal ammo that's going to have some Sierra Matchking bullets, but they're actually loaded by Federal. So this is actual Sierra ammo loaded with their bullets. We're going to be going, oop, if I can find the target. We're going to be going for the right side of the center diamond here. Off to a good start. Well, that was a good group. I can see those. Sweet. Alright, so this ought to shoot pretty darn similar to the last group, just because, well, actually for several reasons. So this is the Federal Gold Medal Match Premium, Federal Premium Gold Medal Match ammo. Sorry, I know it's kind of ridiculous, but they're shooting the 69 grain Sierra Matchking as well, but Federal is loading it, not Sierra. Now, Sierra was using Federal brass, which means they're probably also using Federal primers, and it's the same bullet. So chances are the only thing different about this load is the powder, which can make a big difference sometimes. So we're going to go ahead and put 3 on the bottom left diamond here and see if they shoot about the same as the last one. I can't see crap. So I want to experience this with you guys, but I'm getting to the point where I literally can't even see the shots anymore. So I hope you can see it, because I can't really. The last group was probably good, but I don't know. So this is more Federal Premium ammo. Box kind of looks like there, right there. And this is being used with the 73 grain Berger open tip match bullet. So this is more their gold medal match ammo, but this is using a Berger 73 grain bullet versus the Sierra 69 grain Matchking. So this time we're going to go for the bottom of the center diamond. I'm going to try to shoot through this Mirage here and hope that they, you know, hit the target and not the GoPro. Well, I can see one of those shots in the white, but I don't know about the other one, so we're going to move on. We are a go, Captain. Okay, next up, second to last group we're going to have is the, yeah, again, Federal Gold Medal Match Federal Premium ammo. And this one's back to the Sierra Matchkings again, so this one's going to be a 77 grain Sierra Matchking, but it is loaded by Federal. So we're going to be going for the bottom right diamond here, and then the last one we're going to just have to put somewhere out in open space so that you can see it. That's pretty well going to take up our normal points of aim. The Mirage is so bad. It's hard enough to see the target because it's dark, but the Mirage is getting pretty rough. Last but not least, we have some Berger ammunition. So this here in particular is their 223 77 grain open tip match tactical ammo. We're going to be putting 3 rounds probably in the bottom right somewhere, but it's not going to be an exact point of aim, so we're just going to try to pick a spot here. Actually, my bipod shifted on me, so we're just going to go top left. How's that sound? It's actually getting dark enough on the target, it's hard for me to tell where some of those little lines are, so we're just going to go on the bottom left corner of the target here, or the quadrant rather, and I'm going to aim for one of those little red spots that indicates like what a 3-round group would simulate if you were shooting at like 25 yards or something along those lines, because I can still see that. So we're going to go for that, and I can't see the target anymore because the mirage is awful. So I feel like that was a pretty darn good group, even though I could barely even see the point of aim. And the coyotes are sounding off again. So there's barely any daylight left, so I'm going to make this quick. But the Tikka T3X Super Varmint rifle clearly has some awesome potential as far as accuracy goes. I don't know what the velocities were, and I don't really care because it's factory ammo. I didn't load it, so I can't really affect that or change it. But this will give us a good idea of what kind of ammo this gun likes and what it shoots well, which evidently is, as far as I can tell, pretty much everything, which is very impressive. But we're going to have to probably tweak the magazine a little bit, or the chassis or something, just to get it to feed a little better, because the bolt is just not quite hitting the back of the rounds and jumping them out of the magazine. It's just kind of riding over top of them. And I might be able to file away some of the plastic on the inner lips there just to get them to push up just a touch more so that it'll grab them. But if I can avoid destroying potentially a magazine, not to mention I've got other magazines that I would like to be able to just use and not have to modify, then that would be ideal. But we're going to have to play with that later and see what we need to do in order to make this work just a little bit better. But either way, super impressed with the accuracy of this gun, loving the way it shoots. I love the way the action runs too, but it's not running great when you're not actually picking up rounds, you know what I mean? So we're gonna have to fix that. But very smooth. Tikkas are just known to be smooth. They just are really good actions. I like the way that they run. They're a lot of fun. It's actually just really pleasant shooting it. But that's going to conclude this video, so thank you guys for watching. Always appreciate the support. Please leave comments and vote in the polls and stuff when we put them out, because it helped me to decide what to do, or rather what to prioritize going forward. You guys stay risen, glorify God, be safe, and we will see you in the next one.